Frazier interview after the intro.
Show, man, it's Deion Dawkins, and you listening to the Real Deal Sports Show on the Beat 105.5.
Good morning, everybody. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear back home is frosty as a mother. Man, people back home is freezing. The wife got off the phone with me. She was all upset. But what? I just asked her to start my car. Could you start my car back on Monday or Tuesday? Oh no, I haven't done. Oh, you in one of those moods? Oh, I said, oh man, is it kind of cold back there? Oh, man, it's gonna be minus 100 today. I said, oh my God, that's no click. I was like, she said, what's all that noise in the background? Who are those women people? Oh, I said, people at the bar partying here. We had a soul food spot called Minnie's over here in the Fillmore District. We walk down the street, catch some jazz. Next thing I know was click. I said, oh, all right, good. Okay, this conversation is over. Time to roll on. Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome back to Real Deal Sports Show. Coming to you live from the Rock Palm Broker Studios each and every Saturday morning. We getting it in. The Radman live from San Francisco, California. The guys made it back to the house. J-GILLZ and Bilal, good morning to you guys. How's everything?
Hey, good morning, man. Absolutely. It's definitely negative 20, but I'm mad I ain't find out about that soul food spot. You talking about a soul food spot? All that ramen noodles and salmon was just not doing it for me. All that sushi and ramen noodles is to have a soul food spot. Man, Radman, you supposed to been tell me that before I get all the way back to Rochester, New York. Come on, man.
My man George Fontenette told me about it. I think it was the same day you were leaving, George Fontenette, and he had his friend. Well, actually, George Fontenette's friend called me, Norman, and I spoke with Norman, and I asked him about where's some good places. He told me the soul food spot, I think on Thursday. So the day you were leaving out. And Bilal, George Fontenette said he spoke with your mom at the supermarket, and she mentioned you were out in San Francisco. He said when he got home and turned on the YouTube, first thing he saw was you, me, and Shaq Lawson. He said, man, there he is right there. I was just talking to his mom. I said, oh yeah. I said,
yeah, that's Unc right there. Yeah, that's Unc right there, man. Our families go way back. I mean, before I was a thought, you know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to Unc, man. I wish I would have known too, J-GILLZ. I would have loved to have touched that soul food spot. And then make so bad I get back and my wife sent me a Biscoff. They got a Biscoff spot, like it's desserts. They got a Biscoff cheesecake, a Biscoff banana cream or banana pudding like smoothie. I said, now you waited till I got back to send me that. Yeah. So I guess we got J-GILLZ. We got to make a trip back.
Most definitely.
Exactly. Gotta check them out. We had a lot of interviews. We're gonna go through some of the interviews, and then also we're gonna follow back up and give our remarks on the Seattle trip out here in Seattle. In San Francisco, California. But we're gonna start off first from opening night. We're gonna go with Leslie Frazier to hear what Leslie Frazier had to say, and also we kind of blended in a little bit. He toward the end of this interview, listen up closely because it kind of gives you behind the scenes about the 13-second game here in Buffalo as well. So let's hear from Leslie Frazier and hear what he has to say. Let's see what Leslie Frazier has to say about it. Here we go. Let's see, get it started.
Inspections in the game that you got to keep your mind on.
Good to see you, buddy. How you been?
Good. Yes, but that's just it. It's just so many things happen when the offense is on the field that they need the head coach to help with decisions and create clarity. And I give an example. We're in a 2-minute drill. It's the beginning of a 2-minute drill. Are we going to try to score now? We're trying to get a field goal. We're trying to get a touch. Well, the head coach has to give direction to that. And if you're in between series, you're trying to figure out, well, what are we going to have to do? For us, we have a strong enough staff that we can give Mike some so that he can be on the headset and communicate to Clint Kubiak and offensive staff, to Jay Harbaugh, our special teams. Right away, do we want to try to pin them back, or are we going to go for a goal here? So communication usually happens with an offensive head coach or a guy who's not calling.
So that's okay.
Yeah.
And currently with the Seattle, like Chicago Bears, 46 in the secondary. I noticed that. I picked that up watching Seattle this year.
Yeah, we got some remnants of some of the things we did in Chicago. I mean, the defense in Baltimore really was originated with Rex Ryan. A lot of things that through the flow of that Baltimore defense, and Mike has brought some of the remnants of that defense to Seattle. So there are things that we did back in the day in Chicago with Bud and Ryan that are part of what we 46,
Right.
but there are a lot of things that we borrowed from that defense, and we do.
The variation.
The variations of it. The variations of it. No. Yeah. Good place. Yeah.
For Sunday's game.
Way the teams that have won are like plus 15. It's like as well, but that to me. And then
All right. There we go, everybody. Hey, what you guys think of that interview, J-GILLZ?
Oh, absolutely. I'm just really happy for Leslie Frazier. He really broke it down, and for all the turnover that's happening in Buffalo, to get the behind the scenes scoop, letting him know exactly, the role that a coach has, and he could tell that him and McDermott wasn't in the best of place when they left, but the respect is still there. The respect is still there. And after talking to a lot of those players on Seattle, man, Leslie Frazier is truly a backbone of that Seattle defensive coaching staff, and he really played a huge role in making sure that those players were prepared for the big game tomorrow.
Yeah, totally agree, J-GILLZ. One of the things that I noticed being there, and I was actually there when Radman was doing the interview with Coach Frazier, and prior to, there was as many people surrounding Coach Frazier as there was at any one of the 10 booths where players were, and coaches were getting interviewed. Only the head coach had a booth as far as the coaches, but Coach Frazier was surrounded with it, and it spoke to the amount of respect people have for Coach Frazier and what he's done in the game of football. His insight was, top tier through the roof, as you can see in the interview. And I think again, I feel like he's in a much better, dynamic overall. He's not in a situation where it feels like the coach feels almost threatened by his presence or whatnot.
Yep.
It seems like, in Buffalo, either McDermott was threatened by, his presence or whenever you're in a situation where a coach feels like, it might be a CYA moment or CYA time, you know what I mean? And takes over again the last 13 seconds as opposed to letting you call the defense, and then scapegoat you. He's in a better situation. Hate that he had to leave Buffalo, but I feel like he's landed in a much better overall situation.
And I thought one of the more telling things was when Radman asked him, 10 head coaches, and that was the theme of this week. 10 head coaching spots, no spots available. Radman asked him if he got an interview, and he humbly said no, but that he's in a good place. That just goes to show you he's happy right where he is.
And I think even beyond just being happy where he is, I think he's that classy of a man. You know what I mean? He is that he is class personified. So on that level of class and that you walk in, that he walks in, so many people could benefit from emulating, kind of having that disposition. I would say, yeah, he's probably a little sore that he might not have gotten a call for an interview, a head coaching opportunity. But he would never let this the system have the satisfaction of knowing that. You know what I mean? So I man, hats off, highest amount of respect for Coach Leslie Frazier.
Absolutely, and that tells you that Sean McDermott had a problem with his own inner being, his own inner self, because he got rid of every year he fired somebody. Every year he scapegoated somebody. Last year he scapegoated the number one strength and conditioning coach in the entire National Football League. The man just won the award 2 years ago, and he's a two-time champion of winning the strength and conditioning coach. Now he's with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, they were quite healthy most of the season and into the playoffs. And here the Buffalo Bills had all these injuries because Sean McDermott's ego. I told you his ass should have been ran after the 13-second game. Everybody knew it. You should have fired his ass. The guy should have been gone. You get a lead with 13 seconds left. How do you lose the game? It's almost impossible to lose a football game when you just take the – and like you heard Leslie Frazier say, the man said you talk to the special teams guy. What you want? Script kick it so we can run some time. You busy running around going – and then at the nerve, Jerry Hughes said in a text this week, in a text he sent out to everybody, the man overruled Leslie Frazier and went with prevent defense. Prevent keeps you from winning. He went to prevent defense against the Denver Broncos a few weeks ago. The man just don't want to learn. He deserved to be fired, and he should have been fired 5-6 years ago, right after the 13-second game. I would have just paid for his airfare back home. Get your stuff. Let me find somebody else at that time. So rest of New Yorkers, I don't want to hear that crap about Sean McDermott. We found out the real deal about Sean McDermott. He's a good guy, good religious guy. I like him as a person, cool, but he got an ego problem. He ego tripping in that locker room. He puts a good culture on, but when the game's on the line, just like he fumbled 10 years ago here in San Francisco, he couldn't stop a one-arm Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning couldn't even throw the ball more than 20 yards, and Peyton Manning beat him in that upset over the highly rated Carolina Panthers with Cam Newton. Man, you lost that game. Come on, give me a bet. McDermott, you just can't get it done as a head coach in a big game and as a defensive coordinator in the biggest game of all, Super Bowl 50, right here in San Francisco 10 years ago. Let's now move on. Let's hear what Leonard Williams has to say. This is a very interesting comment. Leonard Williams talks about his life and the struggles that he had growing up as a kid.
We've been able to have the opportunity even this year to give back in ways that really relate to me, because I grew up homeless at times and didn't have places to stay. And, so it's surreal for me to be in homeless like this now, because I was a homeless kid at points. And, I think it's a huge message for me to go to shelters and things like that and let people know that I was once in their position, and they're kind of like, you could tell it means a lot to them.
Leonard, what would be your advice to your young player having to come out of college and go to a market like a New York City and deal with the mass media? Like, what would be your advice for them?
Yeah, I was just talking about that. I would just say just be yourself. Just always understand that you can control the narrative. You can control your answers. Even if someone asks you a question that you're not comfortable with, you can control what you say. So even if you're answering something, you don't have to answer the question pretty much, and just cancel out all the noise.
And how do you stay focused and continue to play in your 11th year in the National Football League, where it's a 3-year average for expectancy in the league?
Well, I will say, I think people expect that it gets harder for you as you get older, but for me, it's been getting easier as I get older. I'm finding more and more ways to take care of my body. I'm finding more ways to cancel out all the noise, all the exterior distractions. It's just getting easier and easier for me to lock in on what matters. And to me, that's my body, my diet, my family, my community, and my team. And it just keeps getting easier and easier each year.
Most definitely. Leonard Williams, he showed you right there, high character guy. Definitely didn't know that he spent all of that time in a homeless shelter at that. But very insightful interview, and he was ready to go. Wouldn't you say, Radman?
Absolutely. He's ready to go. But this is not the same guy I met 11 years ago, man. That guy was a wildcat, man, talking big talk and the whole 9 yards. I even said to him after he go, I said, man, you're very mature now, man. I remember you with the Jets and the Giants. He said, oh, man, that's not the same guy. I said, I know. It's definitely not the same guy. For the Jets and Giants years, we used to see him twice a year when he was with the Jets. So the big cat, Leonard Williams, definitely doing his thing. J-GILLZ, that interview you wanted to get in there?
Most definitely. Also, right next to him, key to the game, and we're going to get into that a little later, is that front four. So we got a chance to talk to Leonard Williams. Let's talk to his running mate, Byron Murphy. And we're going to talk about how Byron Murphy plans to execute on Sunday, as well as his relationship with Leslie Frazier.
How you doing, Byron? What does it mean, these last 2 years? What does that mean to you being a Seattle Seahawk and now, just being so impactful in these last two, man?
It means a lot, man, because, growing up, I was a Seahawks fan, so I watched Seattle go to the Super Bowl, back in the day. And to be in this moment as a Seahawk in the Super Bowl again is like a full circle again, so I'm blessed.
Absolutely, man. Blessed and highly favored. You talk about being blessed. What role has your faith played for you thus far in your career? What role has your faith played?
It played a lot, man. I keep God first in everything I do, bro. Put God first in, whatever you do, that's how I was raised, and I'm always, I always taught, anything, anytime you go through hard times, man, you need to lean on somebody, man, lean on God, man. He gonna answer everything. He gonna set everything for you.
Absolutely. Obviously in these last 2 years been impactful. Last year y'all didn't make the playoffs, still had a heck of a season, 10-win season. Now, what is your coach Mike McDonald, instilled in this team to get you guys not just in the playoffs but to your Super Bowl?
And just working, man, just working every day, and being us, building our own culture and everything. We really put time in that into the off season, OTAs, and everybody just bought into the program. And when you get a team full of guys to buy into the program, a team who loves their head coach, man, willing to do anything for them, good things gonna turn out.
And another guy, we're upstate New York market, so we cover the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Leslie Frazier, what has Coach Leslie Frazier meant to you in this season?
He's meant a lot, man. Len's been around for a long time as a player and a coach, man. So to have him, with us, and on the defensive side, man, it means a lot. He's helped me a lot with my game, being he's a great mentor. He knows ball. I'm learning from him every day.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, man, and good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I felt that the Seahawks, their demeanor as a team, they were happy to be there. I felt they felt good. They know they're a good team. And to counter that, I just felt like the Patriots just feel disrespected. They're the underdogs. Nobody's picking them, and you felt that with them. You felt that when you talked to them. You felt that, just the demeanor on their face. The only guy on the Patriots who I saw was having a good time was Morgan Moses, the 10-year vet. And after 10 years playing with Washington,
he glad to be there.
The Jets, he was happy to be there. He was like Deion Dawkins or something. That's how jolly green he was feeling. You know what I mean? He was the only Patriot. Everybody else stern and definitely was about their business. And that's what we saw from Christian Barmore as well.
I think with Corey Durden, you got a sense of being excited as well. Kind of having an opportunity to be there, and you saw he talked about kind of. I got a chance to speak with him for a moment. He, when you come from a losing organization, you really appreciate being a part of a winning organization, because these opportunities don't happen. It's been a conversation piece all week, but the reality, it is the reality. Drake May's in year 2. We've heard the comparisons all. I mean, for the last 2 weeks, you know, Dan Marino being a second year guy when he got to his, you know, one and only Super Bowl. But at the time, everybody was like, "Man, the league is in trouble. This guy got here year 2. He's gonna be here year in and year out." Joe Burrow, he got there year 2. Oh, he's gonna be. I mean, he's gonna be threatening to be in this game for years to come. Hasn't been back. It is not a foregone conclusion that anybody will ever get back to that place. And so when you spend a lot of years, you know, in losing places, to have an opportunity to now do it, man, you appreciate it different. And you definitely saw that on guys. You can definitely see that on guys.
No doubt. And I think I know we want to go to Barmore. I'll just add it in. That Patriots defensive line with Darden, he's been really playing well. Christian Barmore out of Alabama. And then the big pay guy, Milton Williams, man, he's worth every dollar already, only in year 1. He is an absolute tear. New England, for the longest time, didn't allow a 50-yard rusher. And then Milton Williams sprains his ankle, goes out for 5 weeks. Next thing you know, New England giving 140 yards rushing. So one player can make a big difference. And I love the Patriots social media last week where Milton Williams was screaming because everybody did talk. We saw, if you looked at the honors, I know y'all brothers been out here hustling and traveling and going to different events, but I watched a lot of the honors. Man, Garrett Bowles, the Protector of the Year award. Shout out to Deion Dawkins for helping that get put out there. Denver had a couple brothers out there being nominated for it. Milton Williams was screaming after the game. He referenced the Black Panther. This was y'all king. This was y'all king. Ate him up. So I love something like that. So hey, it's gonna be fun tomorrow evening to see what the Patriots line do. But yeah, I definitely want to hear what Christian Barmore has to say coming out again, a true winner coming out of Alabama.
Here with Patriots defensive tackle Christian Barmore. Christian, obviously it's your first Super Bowl, man. Tell me, how are you feeling knowing that, you know, you got to the game, you know, such a prestigious franchise, and you're a part of that history?
Oh, it's amazing. All glory to God.
Absolutely. Talk about God. What role does your faith play in preparing you for the big game?
You know, I just can't wait to play football. You know, we're here for business. We came here to dominate. That's all.
Man, I'm feeling like y'all. Listen, I feel that y'all been the underdog, and I feel like y'all feeling that. You know, you ready to play, man. What can Seattle expect from you on Sunday?
They will see when we get there.
Woo, my brother. Good luck. Appreciate you, boss.
The amount of focus and intensity coming from Christian Barmore, coming from all of those New England Patriots. I'm telling you, they feel disrespected, that nobody's picking them. They feel that they're just as good. Their offense has been mediocre in the playoffs, you know, getting sacked 5 times a game, Drake May in the postseason. But their defense has been the top defense in the postseason. I don't understand it. That's why they're sleeping on Christian Barmore, Mike, all those guys. So I'm very curious to see, and you can see the intensity. Those guys are ready to play. Those guys are ready to play. They're focused, and I think we're gonna see on Sunday.
It is, but that's a great one. But I'll pass it to you right after this. To me, it's interesting. Everybody, I haven't seen one person pick the Patriots. And to me, if I didn't know any better, this was some unknown team where we didn't watch all year. And yes, they didn't. Their schedule was the schedule. It's not college football. They didn't put Citadel and Northwest State, Alabama State on the schedule. Come on. They play NFL teams. And to me, this team is growing together, the biggest piece. And let's not forget, who did Sam Darnold see ghosts against? And it's a little different now with Cooper Kupp and the tight ends, and he got that bad man JSN, of course, being the main focal point, and Kenneth Walker, who I thought was going to be more Le'Veon Bell coming out of Michigan State, but can really ball. But Sam Darnold saw ghosts against that Bill Belichick defense. And I think New England could get after him. Kavon Chaselon, coming out of LSU, is having a career year, former first-round pick with the Jacksonville Jaguars. The back end doesn't get enough credit, man. Carlton Davis, you're going to see one time the back of his jersey, him just holding it, grabbing. He guaranteed to get a 15-yard penalty for pass interference. Hopefully he's nothing more than 15 yards being a Patriots fan. But the back end, the real one, of course, Christian Gonzalez, Marcus Jones in the slot. I'm really interested to see if Ravens going to take the Bill Belichick approach and put the number 2 Carlton Davis and safety help on JSN and then have Christian Gonzalez take totally away Shaheed or Cooper Kupp if we're going to go at it that way. And to me, the one name that folks don't know, look out for number 21, Jalen Hawkins. He is not at Reed, but he plays that center field. He's looking to intercept the ball, has great hands. I think Jalen Hawkins is going to make a big, big play tomorrow evening to help the Patriots with a big upset victory like they did to the Rams all those years ago to start a new dynasty. Bilal, what you got cooking?
Yeah, no, I was with J-GILLZ when he did the Christian Barmore interview, and you can definitely see like, bro was, it was like, okay, I'm here because I got to be here, but he wanted to be on the field right then, like he was ready to go, and so you could definitely see that a lot of the players were already locked in from the Patriots, both sides actually, but you could definitely feel that energy of like, yeah, man, we got something to prove coming off the Patriots. And, I hear you in a lot of great points, but, man, JSN, whose secondary would you say is better between the Rams and the Patriots?
Oh, come on, that's not that. Hey, come on, Bilal. I know it's early. I know you got to tell it. It's not even close. That was a Rams issue. They can't cover themselves in bad. New England's a far better secondary. Oh, maybe I didn't hear you. Secondary? New England has a way better secondary. The Rams has a really good pass rush, decent linebackers, but their back end is what got them cooked all year long, and that was their biggest issue. New England's secondary, and to me, I think it's slightly better. Witherspoon might be slightly better than Gonzalez, but in totality, New England's, to me, secondary is a little bit better, and that's hard to say because Seattle got a brother named Julian, so I always root for all the Julians in the world. Julian Love doing his thing, but nah, the back end is gonna be interesting to watch.
Yeah, so I let's say if we do give the slight edge to New England, man, JSN still shredded. When you with everybody knowing the ball was going to him, shredded that Rams defense, man. This JSN is something, you know what I mean? He gonna be a handful. I don't
Carlton
care.
Davis is Super Bowl champion too, man. His experience should matter. He's Super Bowl champion.
Listen, let's hope it does because listen, JSN, he the real deal. Yeah, right. JSN is the real deal.
Yeah, no question. Hey, but I will say the last person to win back-to-back championships was Deion Sanders when he changed teams. He won the championship with the 49ers and then the Cowboys. And so Milton Williams, look for him. He won it last year with the Eagles. Let's see if he can go ahead and become a back-to-back champion on two different teams. So that it should be a fun one tomorrow, man. Everybody's giving my boys not a chance. They play so together, and it's so great that you guys, and this is why we come to Real Deal Sports Show, not telling you what we heard, but telling you what we know, because that focus, I've been seeing that for New England ever since the second half of the Bills game where they just completely blew that game. And really, truly, yeah, they blew it, but really Josh Allen was just locked in. They didn't know what to do with Josh Allen when Buffalo came back and beat New England in Foxborough. But every game after that, they have been locked in. And I don't want to derail us too much here, but everybody talks about C.J. Stroud, worst game in history. Who did he play against? He played against the New England defense. Justin Herbert, which, by the way, do y'all know, I don't know if y'all heard this, Radman, this might be a whole Radman rant or a Fanatic rant. Do y'all know that Justin Herbert got an MVP first place vote?
Right.
What? Justin Herbert? Are you kidding me, NFL? Yo, y'all making this worse than WWE. So New England, who made him look like a person who didn't know football? Come on. Give New England some respect. Seattle got a lot of weapons. John Snyder's done a great job. But Mike Vrabel, that intensity, man, he's a warrior, and they ready to come out to play. That's the mantra New England been riding with, and they got one more game to cap off an amazing season.
Excellent. Back with our picks. Our picks coming back later in the show. The next segment brought to you by award-winning Marion Rivera Insurance Agency, Auto, Home, Health, and Life Insurance, 1038 Lyle Avenue, 511 Bean Road, Suite B. Give her a call, 585-360-0094. Give her a call. I guarantee you she can give you some side savings. She just gave the Mighty Oba some savings. The Mighty Oba sounds like he's happy with her as well. And guess what, J-GILLZ? You know what's next, right?
Advantage Federal Credit Union, AdvantageFCU.org, auto loans, Visa cards, student checking accounts, and much more. Start your loans today at AdvantageFCU.org.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're gonna go into this next soundbite for an event happening tonight on BET. All y'all turn your TVs on, brothers and sisters of the church and faithful worshipers. Let's hear what Cam Newton has to say about hosting the upcoming tonight gospel soulful celebration tonight. Let's hear from Cam.
What makes this show extra special for you doing the soulful gospel? Well, it used to be called the gospel soulful celebration.
Yep.
What is there a special meaning for you to be the host?
No, it is, because being a consumer of it and watching it live when they came to Atlanta, and my mom, you know, actually watching it on an annual basis has always been something that I wanted to be a part of. Coming from, you know, Christianity, Pentecostal specifically, anytime there's a higher power or higher reasoning to shine light on people that are making a positive impact on the field as well as off the field, I wanted to kind of align with, and that's what I'm excited most.
And also, it's one of the few sanctioned NFL sanctioned functions of the NFL during Super Bowl week, the Super Bowl Gospel Celebration. How is it working with Melody Few, the founder?
Yeah, it's great. You know, I just love working with good people with good intentions. And, you know, Miss Melanie has always, you know, operated in good faith of understanding what she wanted to get out of the experience. And to see where it is now is just so amazing.
Isn't it? Yes, indeed. I remember back in the day when she first was getting rolling with it. And how's it working with the artists? What can we expect from the this Saturday night show?
Man, listen, you know, from some of the songs that we hear on the radio to our favorite, you know, artists that we've seen on many different platforms, from America's Got Talent to, you know, American Idol. You know, it's star-studded, and it's just a great night to highlight, you know, the goodness that's being done, you know, all around us.
Absolutely. And I can't be remiss, being from Buffalo, New York. How can the Bills help Josh Allen get over the hump?
I think they're making the right steps to doing that. You know, hiring Joe Brady as your head coach, really giving us what we know to be true as Josh Allen being a impact player, one of the few players that are game changers in this league. Now finding ways, working with Brandon Beam to find him ways to make sure that Buffalo is in this position in the near future.
Exactly. And do you think he will also, Josh Allen, in a sense, be able to use the rules to his advantage? Like, he broke his foot on a play where he ran 20 yards backwards to try to get away from Myles Garrett, where all he had to do was just basically throw the ball down at his feet, spike the ball into the turf. Which I say, it's different. You know, I'm not out there being chased by Myles Garrett, but
it's a little different, you know, with covering sports, with actually being in the sport. So, you know, you can critique good plays, but also critique the bad plays, and you never go in a play trying to create a bad play. It's just one of those give and take dynamics that sometimes you win and sometimes you maximize in a way that you necessarily didn't want it to be.
Who do you have winning the game? What's your prediction for Sunday's game?
I think Seattle will win. I just really want a good game from a fan to another fan.
Absolutely, absolutely. And last but not least, where do you see your future in the industry going, or what are your future endeavors?
As long as people looking and going into viewership, I think content teaches us that, you know, revenue is impacted by viewership and impact. So as long as people keep giving me that,
give them that.
Right.
Yeah, give it. Hey, that was a great interview, Radman. Cam giving a lot of great information, a lot of jewels for it, and Cam really has been, from Netflix shows to now the BET's Soul. I feel like, man, Ryan Clark was getting a lot of these opportunities, and now he's kind of sitting and doing his own thing with the pivot, and now Cam Newton. So, and Shannon Sharp was doing it until he got to get a little recording things that need to be in private moments. So Stephen A seem to have the magic touch right now. A lot of pull with brothers in particular being able to get put on and having these great opportunities, not just on a first take and not just even in the sports world, but outside of that. So that was really cool to hear.
I just hope that Cam does a better job than he did in 2019. I was at the Soulful Celebration in Atlanta in 2019. My man was mispronouncing words, giving the words to Tisha Cobbs, not Tasha Cobbs. It was crazy, man. It's like College Park in my guess, man. But hopefully now that he went from hosting, you know what I'm saying, giving out awards, to now he's hosting the whole show. So I hope he's doing a little better with his verbiage.
Yeah, because hey, you guys see the video too. You remember, like, subscribe, comment, and subscribe to the show. Check out most of these interviews will be on YouTube. Check out the Cam Newton interview on YouTube. Man, he gave me a look like, oh no, he didn't. This non-playing dude right here gonna talk about Josh Allen. What, man? He gave me a look, man. I was like, oh damn, here we go, man. I knew he come back up, but y'all non-playing guy. Somebody.
I've been trying to tell you, man,
you don't get it, man. That's one thing I do respect about Cam is he makes sure that he's protective of the players. You know what I mean? In terms of, like he does give his critique, but he also he gives that lens of like being in the role, especially when you're talking about a quarterback. He really is protective of making sure that people understand, like, to his point, he said you don't go in with a mindset or a plan to make a bad play. Now it may not always turn out that way, but that's not your plan going in. But so he is protective of the players, and I respect that. You know what I mean? Because you need that. You know what I mean? You definitely need someone who's like, hey, there's that side of it too, and I think it gives us an opportunity to kind of take that into consideration as well.
But it's still hilarious envisioning the Radman running down the field for Myles Garrett. That had me cracking up when I heard that.
Yeah, because the way he looked up, that dude is huge. Man, that guy is huge, man. His thighs in his stick. I'm like, dog, man, how did people even try to tackle him once he broke through the line of scrimmage, man? You got to get him at the line, man. I see why he was so 6'6", 6'7", something like that, man. He was laid back in his check the video out so you can see what I'm talking about. How he was sitting in the stool with legs all stuck out, man. I was like, oh my God, man, this guy is giant, man. But definitely, we're gonna move on to the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Were you guys pleased with the selections?
I mean, if you ask me, I think this was a talking point weeks ago. I don't know how you missed the opportunity to put not only Bill Belichick but Robert Kraft as well. 8 championships, 7 championships. Those guys, if they not first ballot Hall of Famers, I don't know who you can give it to. I am happy for Larry Fitzgerald, Adam Vinatieri. I mean, come on now, over Bill Belichick. But those guys are deserving, and they're going to be getting their jackets come August. So congratulations to them.
I think it's my issue is that you got a Larry Fitzgerald on the ballot, and even with the Adam Vinatieri, right? Not putting Bill Belichick in, or Bill Belichick not getting in, as well as Robert Kraft, it makes what should be, a star-studded Hall of Fame class going in. It takes away from the success and the greatness that. We know what Larry Fitzgerald has fewer drops over his career than I want to say that anyone in the history of the game. He's got, the man just had. We know who Larry Fitzgerald was on the field. Like, he was just all out monster. Just in all phases of the game. He blocked. You know what I mean? He read every route of the route tree. Like, we know who he was on the field. And this is, you know what I mean? Honestly, this is the first time I've heard any platform talk about, everyone else on the draft, on the Hall of Fame class outside of the folks who didn't get in. And I feel like that's gonna that to me is what stains this whole, you know what I mean, this whole dynamic is instead of on platforms people talking about who's getting in, we've been talking about who's not getting in, and I think that's the shame of it. Because as much as I agree, no matter how you feel about him, Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft should be going in. And if Bill Belichick isn't a first ballot Hall of Fame coach, and I get it, I absolutely, I will say, hey Julian, I know you're Fanatic, you're a Patriots fan. I don't think Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time, because we hear everyone says that, you know what I mean. I feel like you got to have more than success outside of with one player predominantly, like 20 years playing, being able to coach Brady. Yeah, 20 years being able to coach Brady. It's you get a great boost. That's a great boost to your resume. And so if you look before and after, but the reality is you can't erase the 20 years with them in the 6 championships that they won together. And so that said, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame at the first ballot.
Yeah, to me, one of that's everything. Great points. To me, Bill Belichick definitely is a Hall of Famer. No matter what you think about it, I can understand what you're talking about with the different quarterbacks. But don't forget, he was with Bledsoe when Bledsoe got the Patriots to the Super Bowl and lost to the Packers. So he got another quarterback. But to me, they're bigger than atrocity and Radman. I would love to hear this, and even Bilal and J-GILLZ. Y'all may know more about it. When I think of the numbers, and I love to have my facts corrected, and so I want to make sure I say it correctly, because I'm looking for it right now, but I think the number is, it was Robert Kraft. To me, is more of the insane one when he turned a moribund losing franchise, and he has it's something crazy, like 16 AFC championships and Super Bowls. Sorry, AFC championships or Super Bowls in 32 years of ownership. Like, his rating of getting to the AFC championship and then to a Super Bowl, it is insane. And so to me, to have a Jerry Jones in the Hall of Fame, and I know what he's meant to the game, Radman, I'd love for you to speak to it, and then anybody else after it, is Robert Kraft behind the scenes. We know what he's done for Mick Mill and justice reform and Jewish hate. We know that. But and Radman, so I guess my direct question would be is, what has been Bob Kraft's role in the expansion of the NFL? Because Radman, you were one of the first ones who talked about Jerry Jones was telling Terry Pagula how to get a new stadium, how to get a state-of-the-art facility, what developer to go with. So what is Bob Kraft's behind the scenes meaning to the game of football, not just on the field, but for the entire NFL? What is Bob Kraft meant to that? Because maybe that's where people are not seeing his true worth or value with that.
Well, the main thing that we heard here in San Francisco is that the Deflategate and the Spygate. They said they reported them 7-8 times before that Rams game to stop the dude from videotaping the Rams, and they never stopped. They videotaped 7 to 8 times, and the Rams complained about it, and nothing was done about it. Same thing with Deflategate. They asked them to stop. They think of them as cheaters, and they don't think they deserve first ballot. That's the word out of here from some of the people that voted, that I know who voted in this, who have a ballot for the Hall of Fame, and that's the main reason why they didn't get in, for cheating. Spygate, Deflategate, period.
Are those the only two cheating?
I didn't realize they were warned many times, but they were warned many times to stop it, to stop videotaping. Because they shouldn't have beat the Rams. The Rams even said they felt that every play they ran, it seemed like the New England knew what they were doing, and that was odd to see a team just know all your plays.
Every play.
But one other thing too, before you go real quick, Roger Craig got in. Roger Craig should have got in. It's 27 years since he retired. He should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. He was the first player to have a 1,000-yard rushing and receiving season in the National Football League. That guy was great. He should have if he wasn't the first ballot, he should have got in the second or third opportunity, not no 27 years later. That's the real travesty right there, guys.
Radman, I'm with you 1,000% on that, and that's not just my 49er fandom talking. Roger Craig was ahead of his time. Again, as you said, first 1,000-yard rusher and receiver ever in the game. When he was doing it, it was unheard of, and it's interesting because if we look at the triplets and whenever we use that football term, the triplets, we know who exactly any fan will tell you. You're talking about Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, all three of them first ballot Hall of Famers, right? Well, Roger Craig was that triplet in the San Francisco version of the West Coast offense with Bill Walsh, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and so to your point that what I mean, it's I think it was tragic that he had to wait so long to get in. But to answer your question, Fanatic. So here's my thing. I think.
Hold on. We got to roll. By the time we're running out of time on this, we got to go right into our pick. Who's up? We go with you, Bilal, real quick on your pick for Sunday's game. Who's going to win it? What's the score?
Listen, I got NFC West Seattle Seahawks winning the game. I'm like Cam. I want to see a close game, but I do think it could get ugly for the Patriots if they don't stop them early. So I'll say 27-20 Seattle.
J-GILLZ.
Rolling with the Patriots. They look like they mean business. Sam Darnold's going to have to prove it and really show me he's going to win this game. I'm going with the Patriots 17-13.
Patriots 24-21. Patriots 24-21. Jalen Hawkins' big play at the end to seal the game, and we'll have questions about Sam Darnold seeing some ghosts again against the Pats.
Yes, I think it's going to be a tight game early, and I have a feeling Seattle will pull away due to Drake May. Drake May has not had a good game in the playoffs at all. I think they're going to force him with that 46 defense. They're going to come with some plays that Leslie Frazier and them going to draw up. And I think because you saw how vulnerable he was last week, and then the week before he wasn't good. He wasn't that good at all. If C.J. Stroud would have played, the Texans would play like a pro. The Texans should have beat the New England Patriots. I got it 24-14 the Seahawks due to the turnovers that Drake May will make in this contest. That would be the difference in the game. And we had
great week. Great week, fellas. Hey, y'all, you guys have me on the edge of my seat. Great week. And shout out to Internet Passport. He did a lot of work in there and behind the scenes. So shout out to Internet Passport for an amazing week, man. Y'all did y'all thing. Shout out
to Internet Passport and the Radman. Yo, we're on 8 o'clock East Coast time. It's 5 a.m. where they at. You know what I mean? So to get up and do a show at 5 a.m., that means you were up 4:30 in the morning. So and again, and you talking about a vet and a professional at the highest caliber in the Radman. We appreciate you.
He makes it all possible. Get it, Radman.
Dedication at its finest, right there. You know.
Indeed. Remember, you got to stop at Thalia, India, guys. Once it unthaws out a little bit, stop over at Thalia, India for that buffet. That buffet is guaranteed to warm you up. Thalia, India at 3259 South Winton Road in the Windjuff Plaza. And Jamaican Soul, his soup is off the chain, man. That man got cow feet and all kinds of soups, man. Oh, my God. The soup, they make collard green soup at Jamaican Soul, 211 Genesee Street, Soul Food Sundays. Check them out every Sunday. Open noon to 9 p.m. on Sundays and 11 to 9 Tuesday through Saturday. Both of those restaurants can warm you guys up from the great outdoors you guys are dealing with.
Radman, I'm jealous.
I think I'll take a couple extra days, guys. I think I may take a couple extra days and just chill out.
I'm hella jealous. You know, you out there in that warm, sunny San Francisco weather out there, and we be over here freezing our butts off in the rock. You know? Just bring some of that weather. I told J-GILLZ, I seen him yesterday. I said, man, why you ain't bring some of that sunshine back with you?
Yeah, listen. It was good while it was.
It wasn't for lack of effort, BacSpin. We were trying to bring all we could. I know I tried.
I know that's right. Oh, my goodness. I mean, if y'all look outside right now, the wind is howling, the snow is blowing, and it's Cody conditions up here in Upstate Rochester, New York, man. Cody conditions. You heard?
Well, who you going with? BacSpin? Who you rolling with?
You know what, J-GILLZ? I was going with Seattle.
Lobby of my hotel, BacSpin. Jay-Z was sighted in our hotel last night at the Pickwick with some people last night.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I was gonna go with Seattle, but I'm really thinking that New England might make this a game. And Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold, and I don't have a lot of faith in that man. You know what I mean? It's amazing that he even made it to the Super Bowl, which is shocking.
It's the team around him.
That's what I'm saying. So he's in a position where, I don't think he ever thought that, he would make it at this stage in his career to the big game. That being said, I don't know if, Drake May being, what is he? This is second year, right?
Second year. Second year.
So, experience plays a lot in games like this. So, my heart says Seattle, or, I'm sorry, my heart says the Patriots, but my mind says that Seattle is probably going to pull this out. Just, experience alone, I think, may get them over the top as long as they protect the football and, Sam Darnold plays a good game. If he has a bad game, all bets are off. I think the New England Patriots will, seize the moment. And I
Matt
think
Collins, Steph Diggs, baby. Steph Diggs, Cardi B might perform too.
Yeah.
The way Kaylee Walker been running the ball the last few weeks, man.
They gonna put their hands on my boy Kenneth Walker. He gonna be a non-factor.
You're right, but Henderson.
Non-factor.
Henderson is he's a rookie, and to make it to the chip in your rookie year, he got a chip on his shoulder like I did in my first year. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to a very, very good game. And if it comes down to the wire, then I'm gonna give it to New England. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give it to. If it comes down to the wire, I'm gonna give it to New England because I think they're playing for, like you said, J-GILLZ. Everybody's counting them out, and nobody's giving them a chance to win. And when you got that type of attitude and instilled in you, where everybody's counting you out, you're an underdog. That dog tends to come out a champion. So I'm looking forward to a great Super Bowl.
Man, J-GILLZ he's stepping out on the limb because listen, I hear you. And Trevion Henderson is a man. The dude he can fly. He can flat out fly. So if he gets the ball and around the edge on you, is good night. But man, the close games this season that Seattle has played, they are battle tested. They play in the toughest division in football, man. They had to beat teams that were all Super Bowl caliber teams in their own division just to get here.
No doubt.
No disrespect to the Patriots, man. Again, there's like Fanatic said,
they just beat the top two defenses to get to the Super Bowl. That's all.
That's
just
all.
Houston and the Broncos. That's all.
Man, got people like C.J. Stroud. I know, man. You gotta wrap it. People thinking C.J. Stroud playing for the Mafia. New England did that. Don't forget that.
We gotta go, fella.
Man, it's 5 o'clock.
Killing me with those Oh my goodness, I appreciate y'all, man. Real Deal Sports Show. My man Radman, you're broadcasting live from San Francisco, Super Bowl 60. Y'all have a time, and Radman, I'm looking forward to hearing all your insights. And look at you. 5 o'clock in the morning, he got a beer in his hand. That's what I'm talking about.
Work hard, play hard.
There you work hard, play harder. Real Deal Sports Show on the B1055 every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. I appreciate you fellas, man. We're going to check back in and get y'all commentary on the Super Bowl highlights next week. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Keep it where you need a rock tree. The Back in Time Mix Show is on the way right here on the beat.